Windtalkers, 2002. Windtalkers had all the ingredients for a box office hit. Nicolas Cage in the lead, legendary action director John Woo at the helm, and a powerful story rooted in a real, heroic chapter of World War II history. The film spotlighted the Navajo Code Talkers, whose unbreakable language code played a critical role in the U.S. victory in the Pacific. But instead of becoming a celebrated war epic, it bombed, grossing just $77 million against a bloated $115 million budget. Critics argued the film sidelined its most compelling element, the Code Talkers themselves, in favor of generic action and Cage's overdramatized performance. What should have been a tribute to unsung Native American heroes ended up as a missed opportunity drowned in explosions and cliches. Still, the movie holds value for its unique subject matter and the rare spotlight it shone on the Navajos' wartime contributions. Windtalkers is a frustrating reminder that even stories worth telling can get lost in Hollywood's quest for spectacle, proving that a meaningful message doesn't always translate into commercial success. G.I. Jane, 1997. Directed by Ridley Scott and starring Demi Moore in one of her most physically demanding roles, G.I. Jane was more than just a war movie. It was a bold statement about gender equality in the military. Moore played Lieutenant Jordan O'Neill, a fictional character who becomes the first woman to undergo Navy SEAL training. The film tackled themes of sexism, resilience, and institutional hypocrisy with raw intensity. Yet, despite its powerful message and gritty realism, G.I. Jane failed to connect with audiences or critics at the time. Earning just $48 million against a $50 million budget, it was deemed a commercial flop. Many pointed fingers at Moore, unfairly criticizing her performance and appearance, while others believed the film was simply ahead of its time. Today, however, G.I. Jane is often reevaluated as a courageous and compelling drama that dared to challenge the norms. Its box office failure stands in stark contrast to the cultural conversations it helped spark, proving that sometimes bravery on-screen mirrors bravery off-screen. Kingdom of Heaven, 2005. With Ridley Scott directing and a star-studded cast including Orlando Bloom, Kingdom of Heaven was poised to be the next historical epic in the vein of Gladiator. Set during the Crusades, the film follows Balian, a blacksmith-turned-knight, who finds himself defending Jerusalem in a brutal clash of faith, politics, and war. Visually stunning and ambitious in scope, the film explored the complexities of religious conflict with surprising nuance. Yet, despite its grand scale and noble themes, it stumbled at the box office, earning just over $211 million globally on a production budget nearing $130 million, not including marketing. Critics were harsh, pointing to a confusing narrative and underdeveloped characters, particularly in the theatrical release. But in a twist of fate, Ridley Scott's director's cut, released later, was hailed as a masterpiece, restoring critical depth and coherence. Kingdom of Heaven is a classic example of a film undermined by studio cuts, proving that even cinematic brilliance can be lost in translation. Its box office failure doesn't reflect its true value, only how timing and editing can reshape a legacy. The Thin Red Line, 1998. Terrence Malick's The Thin Red Line is not your typical war movie. It's a poetic, meditative exploration of the human soul amid the chaos of combat. Set during the Battle of Guadalcanal in World War II, the film assembles a powerhouse cast including Sean Penn, Jim Caviezel, Nick Nolte, and many others. It was Malick's return to filmmaking after a 20-year hiatus, and anticipation was sky-high. But what audiences got wasn't explosive action. It was introspective voiceovers, haunting visuals, and philosophical questions about life, nature, and violence. While it received critical acclaim, and even earned 7 Academy Award nominations, the film earned just $98 million globally on a $52 million budget, a disappointment by Hollywood standards, especially compared to Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan, released the same year. Many mainstream viewers found it slow, confusing, or emotionally distant. Yet for cinephiles, The Thin Red Line stands as a masterpiece, a war film that dares to think deeply rather than shoot loudly. Its commercial underperformance only highlights how visionary art often struggles in a market that rewards simplicity over substance. Stalingrad, 2013. Russia's Stalingrad was a bold cinematic gamble, an ambitious World War II epic that combined massive battle sequences, 3D technology, and a dramatic love story, all wrapped in national pride. Directed by Fedor Bondarchuk, The film focused on a group of Soviet soldiers defending a strategic building during the brutal Battle of Stalingrad, one of the deadliest confrontations in human history. With a budget of over $30 million, it was Russia's most expensive movie at the time, and its official entry for the Academy Awards. Domestically, it performed decently, but internationally, especially in the US, it bombed. Despite dazzling visuals and a deeply emotional core, critics felt the film tried too hard to blend spectacle with sentimentality. The love subplot seemed out of place amid the carnage, and some audiences struggled with the film's stylized approach to such a grim historical event. While Stalingrad was a box office giant in Russia, its global failure shows how even well-crafted war films can struggle to cross cultural boundaries. It's a reminder that war stories may be universal, but how they're told makes all the difference. The 13th Warrior, 1999. The 13th Warrior had all the makings of an epic adventure: swords, ancient warriors, a mysterious enemy, and Antonio Banderas playing an exiled Arab ambassador swept into battle with Viking tribes. Loosely adapted from Michael Crichton's novel Eaters of the Dead, the film blended myth, history, and action in an attempt to create a thrilling war saga. But behind the scenes, it was chaos. Plagued by production delays, director changes, costly reshoots, and a bloated budget that ballooned to over $160 million, the film was doomed long before it hit theaters. Its worldwide box office haul? A dismal $61 million. Critics slammed its muddled plot, poor editing, and uneven tone. Audiences were left confused, unsure if they were watching a historical epic or a fantasy thriller. Despite its commercial failure, The 13th Warrior gained a cult following over time, appreciated for its gritty atmosphere, unique premise, and haunting score. Still, it remains one of the most expensive box office bombs of its era, proof that even a compelling warrior tale can fall victim to behind-the-scenes turmoil and studio misfires. Hotel Rwanda, 2004. Hotel Rwanda is not a traditional war film filled with battlefield heroics. It's a harrowing, deeply human story set during one of the most horrific genocides in modern history. Don Cheadle delivers a masterful performance as Paul Rusesabagina, a hotel manager who risked everything to shelter over 1,200 Tutsi refugees during the 1994 Rwandan genocide. The film is a powerful, emotional journey through chaos, fear, and courage, exposing the world's indifference in the face of atrocity. Critically acclaimed and nominated for 3 Academy Awards, Hotel Rwanda should have been a box office success. But despite glowing reviews, it made just over $33 million worldwide, barely enough to cover its modest $17 million budget after marketing costs. The heavy subject matter, limited promotion, and audiences' reluctance to confront such raw truth contributed to its commercial underperformance. Yet, its legacy is anything but weak. Hotel Rwanda stands as one of the most important war dramas of its time, proving that the greatest battles are sometimes fought without guns, through moral courage, compassion, and the will to do what's right, even when the world turns its back. Operation Finale, 2018. Operation Finale brings to life one of the most daring and morally complex missions in modern history: the capture of Adolf Eichmann, one of the chief architects of the Holocaust. Set in the aftermath of World War II, the film follows a team of Israeli Mossad agents, led by Oscar Isaac's determined Peter Malkin, as they track down and abduct Eichmann, played chillingly by Ben Kingsley, hiding in Argentina under a false identity. With intense performances, high-stakes tension, and rich historical context, the movie had all the makings of a gripping war drama. Yet, despite its intriguing premise and star power, Operation Finale struggled to find an audience, earning just $18 million against a $24 million budget. Critics praised the acting, but felt the film lacked the urgency and edge such a mission demanded. Its box office failure highlights a frustrating trend. When war films trade in psychological suspense rather than explosive action, they often get overlooked. Still, Operation Finale offers a haunting, slow-burn reminder that justice sometimes arrives not with gunfire, but with precision, patience, and quiet resolve. Jarhead, 2005. Jarhead, directed by Sam Mendes and based on Anthony Swofford's memoir, offered a raw and unfiltered look at the psychological toll of war rather than traditional battlefield heroics. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal as a U.S. Marine sniper during the Gulf War, the film explores boredom, isolation, and frustration, showing the emotional and mental strain soldiers endure when combat doesn't go as expected. Despite a talented cast and Mendes' visionary direction, Jarhead struggled at the box office, earning $96 million worldwide on a $72 million budget, which wasn't enough to be considered a financial success. Critics were divided. Some praised its introspective take on modern warfare, while others found it slow and lacking in action. The film's unconventional focus on the inner battles faced by soldiers, rather than the physical ones, made it less appealing to mainstream audiences expecting traditional war movie thrills. Yet, Jarhead remains a significant entry in the genre, one that challenges viewers to rethink what it means to go to war and highlights the invisible wounds soldiers carry long after the guns fall silent.